The man had been lying flat on the ground for a full 48 hours, not daring to move even a finger. Behind him lay a 100-meter abyss, and one wrong move would mean certain death. He desperately clawed at the ground with his fingertips, but the loose sand couldn't support his weight. His body gradually slipped downward, forcing him to press his face against the ground, using it as a makeshift brake to temporarily stop his descent. Just then, his phone rang from inside his backpack. To answer or not to answer? If it was his wife calling, not answering would be worse than falling off the cliff, but lifting even one hand would send him sliding down. Gritting his teeth, he adjusted his position, keeping his face pressed to the ground while reaching with his other hand. He finally managed to grab his phone, but the next second, he found himself stuck on the cliff's edge. Below his feet stretched dark, jagged rock walls and razor-sharp reefs. 2 hours passed, and the physical and mental exhaustion nearly broke him completely. He began muttering something under his breath, calculating the intervals between wave crashes. If he could use the wave's backlash, maybe he could survive. When his countdown ended, he released his grip and leaped down. The waves caught his body, but the water was too shallow, and his pelvis slammed hard against the rocks. The excruciating pain knocked him unconscious, but thankfully the sharp pain woke him again. And with his last breath, he surfaced. Left with no choice, he stripped off his clothes, wrapped his wounds, and lay on the rocks to conserve energy and rest. When he woke up, the back pain brought him complete clarity. He began surveying his surroundings. The cliff was impossible to climb, and a distant isolated island became his only hope. He clenched his jaw and rolled into the sea, but with his legs paralyzed and one arm injured, he could only paddle with his remaining good arm. After swimming briefly, he was completely exhausted and stopped to catch his breath on the surface. Suddenly, sharp pain shot through his abdomen, and he choked on water, his body plummeting to the ocean floor. In that near-death moment, his wife's face flashed before his eyes. Refusing to give up, he fought with every ounce of strength to paddle upward, and finally resurfaced. But reaching that island was now impossible, so he had to turn around and swim back to where he started. It turned out that just moments ago, he had jumped from the cliff into the sea, but this was only the beginning. After reaching shore, he examined his body. Aside from cuts on his hands, he seemed mostly unharmed. But the moment he tried to stand up, his head struck something hard, adding a fresh wound to his forehead. The real problem was his lower back. That impact had left his legs completely numb. Suddenly he remembered, he still hadn't called his wife back. He frantically grabbed his phone, only to discover it was severely water damaged and wouldn't turn on. Now he was really in trouble. He could only scream for help, but there wasn't a soul around. Cliffs ahead, endless ocean behind.